I'm calling it important hoops because it's NBA Cup Day, numero tres, and a big game kicking things off. The undefeated, just like we predicted, Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Celtics in Boston. This is going to be a fun one. It's the first game, the big name of the night. Fourth team to start a season 15-0. That's it for Cleveland right now. And Kenny Atkinson called them for this a test to see if the Cavs really belong among the best. I've seen some conversations where it was like, if they win against Boston, then we can start to actually talk about them as far as contenders, which I found interesting considering it seems like winning this many in a row seems like a big deal, Chandler, but here we are. Is it true? Is it this game that's going to determine who these Cleveland Cavaliers are?
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's still just one game in November, but this is a big game. And this is a test for, I think, both teams. Obviously, everyone knows about the Boston Celtics. Everyone knows and respects them as the defending champs. That's the team that they have to go through. And on the flip side, nobody was really talking about the Cleveland Cavs this preseason. And now they're on the cusp of making history. They're the hottest team. They're starting 15-0. They made the adjustment as the head coach, and they seem to be playing free and happy. So this is kind of the up-and-coming team, and the Celtics, it's a huge statement game for them to kind of let them know early, listen, come June, there's no way that you're beating me 4 times in a row. There's no way you're getting me in a series. So I do think this is a big game. Shows you kind of where everyone thinks the Cavs stand as the odds maker, how they're 5.5-point underdogs as a 15-0 team. So it kind of shows you right there, kind of where everyone thinks that they are, the discrepancy between the two. But listen, this is a big-time game. We know how cool the NBA Cup and how intense these games have been. So the fact that we get the 2 hottest teams, the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference in the same bracket is a real treat. But it's a big game for both.
I'm excited for this one, Lou. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I agree with Kenny. This is going to be a test, even though up until this point, they've had quality wins already in this season. They're proving that they're a competitor and they're looking to be one of those challengers that's going to come out of the East, that's going to challenge Boston for that top spot. So the way that they're playing basketball, I can't root against undefeated teams. That's just the ex-player in me. You go with the hot hand, you go with what's working. So, I agree that it'll be a test tonight, but, I give them an opportunity to win this game just as much as the Boston Celtics based on the way that this team is playing right now.
And I don't know if you want to look at it as good news or bad news, but Donovan Mitchell did get the last game off for a little bit of rest. I know we live in a world in which that is a very judgy thing that we're going to now tackle, Lou, because I don't have an issue with it. Did you have an issue? Is it bad look?
Not to me. That's the name of the way. That's the name of the game. Either way it goes, even if he was a healthy scratch or he has an underlying issue that may be a nagging thing and they decide to give him a day to work on it, I don't think it's a bad look. Look, you can tailor make your rules when you're 14-0, trying to get to 15-0, in which they eventually did in the game that he didn't play in. They're playing with house money. They didn't expect to get off to this much of a great start. And so when you have guys that have nagging injuries or something maybe going on behind the scenes, you can give them a day. So I wouldn't overreact to this. But again, you do what you want when you popping. They're 15-0. They have the right to do whatever they want. When the Spurs were having these championship runs and guys were sitting down and they would have healthy stretches, as fans, we understood because we knew there was a bigger goal at stake. With this team being 14-0 and 15-0 before he set a game, you kind of give them that leeway to do that because you see the success in what they're doing. So I don't see this as a bad look at all.
Yeah, I'm with Lou here. I think when you have this type of run and you're on a heater like this, you can afford to rest your guy like this because you just look no further than last year where this team was banged up, they were unhealthy, and when they were fully loaded, they were really good last year. So I think in the back of their head, they think, listen, if we're healthy come playoff time, we can compete with everybody. We've proven we can beat pretty much everybody this year already. It's a weakened Eastern Conference, so they're not going to have that many tough physical games outside of a certain teams. And obviously there's going to be some hiccups in the road where they have some bad losses to bad teams, but this team is for real. And this isn't fool's gold. This team is deep. This team is young. This team is athletic. And so it's interesting to see tonight the kind of styles clash. Can they continue to play fast? Can they play at the pace? Can they be as efficient as they've been and be that number one offense against a really good Boston Celtics defense in the half court that's going to slow you down and bog you down? Can Donovan Mitchell have his way with Drew Holiday, who's probably the best perimeter point guard defender in the NBA? So there's kind of some contrast of styles here will be interesting to see because they're both really, really good.
So I know Cavs are obviously motivated. They got all kinds of things going on. Celtics, on the other hand, defending champs. They have a chance here to end this stupid streak, as I'm assuming Celtics fans are looking at it, or maybe they're motivated by the NBA Cup itself. If you're on this team right now, Chandler, what are you thinking is the bigger motivator?
If I'm on the Cavs or if I'm on the Celtics?
No, if you're on the Celtics. Like, what's bigger?
I think they have real championship goals, not ending the Cavs streak, not the NBA Cup. I think they are one game at a time, thinking big picture, thinking how do we get to the playoffs and the postseasons fully healthy, and how do we get out of the Eastern Conference as easy as we did last year. So I think obviously that would be nice to end this streak. That would be nice to kind of get a game back from Cleveland, because who knows if Cleveland keeps this rolling up. I know it's early, but come playoff time, maybe these head-to-head matchups mean something. And sure, there's a little incentive at the NBA Cup and going to Vegas and having that extra bonus in your pocket. But I think to me, the NBA Cup means more the Cavs. To me, the championship goal aspirations of winning the actual NBA Finals is bigger for the Celtics.
But you know what, Chandler? I'm gonna agree with you 50%. They don't care about the NBA Cup, but we are petty competitors. They want that undefeated streak to come to an end. You know, that's when you're a championship team, you have to find something during the season to give you motivation. You got to find games within the games. You got to find new challenges along the way. Playing a 15-0 team on your home court, this is a challenge for them, and they're going to look at it as a challenge. I don't think they care about going to Vegas. I don't think they care about any of the. I think they're seeing a 15-0 team in front of them, and they want to prove that they're still king of the hill. I think this game matters to them for that fact only.
Yeah, for sure. And they're looking at the Eastern Conference just like we are too. And they're saying, look, this might be the only team that can get in our way is this Cavs team. So this is a huge statement early on. This is a game to prove that, listen, we're still the top dog. I don't care about your record. I don't care about your start. We're going to be there at the end. So this is a huge game. This is and the Cavs team that's playing probably the most confident and free that anyone is across the league. So this one will definitely be exciting. I'll be tuned in for sure. But I still got to go with the Celtics. I think the streak comes to an end tonight. I think they're too good. I think they have too much to prove as well. And I think they do want to stop the little brother from getting too big for his britches tonight.
Does feel like that, but I don't know, Lou. You think so? What are they favored? 5.5? Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go against my popular opinion, and I'm gonna go with the hot hand here. I'm gonna give the Cavs the edge for this matchup at this particular time in the season. You know, they found a flow and an identity that works for them. This is one of those national TV games that they can reintroduce themselves to NBA fans who aren't real believers. So this will be a great test for them, but I give them the edge until someone knocks them off. You know, I don't think it happens tonight just based on the way that they're playing, the style that they're playing, the confidence. Everything is just pointing their way. And again, like we said, the Celtics, they look ahead. You know, they're looking for they have championship aspirations, and I'm sure the Cavaliers do too, but, you know, the mission is different. The goals are different. So they're approaching games in a different light than the Cavaliers are at this time of year. But I still give the Cleveland Cavaliers the edge until somebody beats them, which can very much happen.
I know it's early too, but just as a team going forward with Cleveland, you know this is huge for them. Just look, we can beat the bully. We can knock off the best team. So I know it's early. I know it's just one game, but this is a huge game for both teams to prove something this early that, listen, we can beat you, and listen, you're nowhere close to us is what the Boston Celtics are thinking. So it could go either way.
Who would have thought we'd have been looking forward to a Boston Celtics Cleveland Cavaliers matchup on a random Tuesday.
Here we are. I wish it was on last night instead of that god-awful football game. That would have been much more fun for everybody to watch. Sorry, Lou.
Keep starting on that.
Let's keep it moving. Thunder up.